Welcome to Home Cooking with Holly. Today I'm going to show you how to make a prosciutto-wrapped pork tenderloin. Now, what is prosciutto? Prosciutto is a thinly sliced, dry-cured ham. It's very similar to bacon. It's just sort of the Italian version of it. You can also use bacon in this recipe, though I would recommend a thin sliced bacon. So let's make this salty, sweet, delicious meal. Now I have a parchment lined surface. It is important to have something such as parchment paper where things don't stick to it, and it will help me to roll this up easily. I'm just going to spread out about 2 ounces of this sweet and salty prosciutto, and I'm going to overlap the pieces a bit so that will help them to wrap around my tenderloin. Now I'm using about a 2.5 pound tenderloin here. You want to use at least a 2 pound tenderloin, and it does usually come with 2 pieces together. They're not tied together or anything, but the prosciutto will help them to stay together during the cooking process. You can see there are the 2 pieces. Now there's some fatty, silver skinny type areas that we don't want to have in there. It makes the meat chewy and just not as enjoyable. We want it to be tender. So I'm just going to trim those off. And there's a large batch of it here where they connect underneath, so I'm going to slice that off. You want to be careful to not slice off your actual meat here. You'll get a little bit of it on there, but just be careful. And it's fine to leave some of the fat on here. Fat does give flavor as it melts. It'll flavor that meat and the prosciutto up even more. So we don't want to completely trim it off, but I do want to get rid of the silver skin type areas like that, and also the really fatty areas. There's a bunch of silver skin right here, so I'm going to slice that off. It's just very chewy and unpleasant to eat. And it only takes a minute or 2 to get it trimmed up, so it's really not a big deal. It's definitely worth the extra time. I'm going to put my pieces back together here. I'm going to give my hands a wash. I have honey and mustard. I'm using Dijon mustard. I have about 1/4 cup of each. I'm going to mix them together in a small bowl. This honey mustard mixture is going to give immense flavor to our tenderloin, and it will help the prosciutto to stick to it. You can also use some toothpicks if you're worried about the prosciutto coming off, but it does pretty well on its own here. I'm going to use some salt and pepper on my tenderloin. And then I'm just going to brush this honey mustard all over it here. Now that I've got it pretty well coated, I'm going to start to roll it up. This is where the parchment comes in extremely handy. Just kind of lift and it just kind of flips right over. Now I'm going to add the rest of my honey mustard at this point because there's that little bit on the bottom I hadn't gotten any on. And why waste it? It's delicious. And then I'm just going to finish rolling it up. And there we have it, ready to go into the pan. Now once I get this into the pan, I'm going to put it into a preheated oven that's at 400 degrees. And I'm going to let it bake for about 25 to 30 minutes. I do like to use a meat thermometer. They're great if you have one. It will need to reach 145 degrees for this pork tenderloin to be safe. While that's in the oven, I'm going to make some baked beans to go with it. Now you can use any can of baked beans that you like. I'm using the larger can of Bush's baked beans here, but I'm going to add some things to it. And you can cook this in a saucepan on the oven until heated through, or you can cook it in the microwave. I'm going to put in about 1/8 of a cup of brown sugar, and then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of mustard, just regular yellow mustard. This is really going to help bring out the flavor of those beans. I mean, they're good the way they are, but they're better this way. Then I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of ketchup. Now, if you're using the smaller can, of course, you would cut this in half. Plus, you may decide you like it sweeter or less sweet. Then you just mix that up. We just want to get everything well combined. And like I said, you can do this in a saucepan on the stovetop just until it heats through. Just cook it at a simmer. Or you can pop it in the microwave and cook it for about 2 minutes. Should be good, maybe 3 minutes. Give it a stir before you add that extra minute. And if you want to make these real fancy, you can crumble some bacon on the top or mix some bacon into it and cook them in the oven until they're warmed through. That makes it even better, great for a potluck. And that's it, delicious baked beans. You can see they've darkened from being cooked. They smell incredible, and the flavor is going to be so much more intense. And it's done. It does not take that long at all. Looks delicious. Got it cut up. You can see there's just a hint of pink on the inside. That's the way we like it. It's at 145 degrees internally. And that prosciutto is nice and crispy. And the saltiness is going to be fabulous. Succulent and delicious. I love the prosciutto. That saltiness and that crispiness is just amazing. So what did you think? It's not that hard to make. It's actually quite easy. If you feel better about it, you can use toothpicks to hold the prosciutto onto the tenderloin, but you really don't need to because of that honey mustard mixture that we put on there. It helps it to stick. I hope that you'll try this recipe and let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. And please like and subscribe to follow me for more recipes and cooking tips.